Hey everyone, this is Ankush Sharma, and today in this video we will see how we can implement the map function in JavaScript from the scratch. First we will see how we use the map function in JavaScript, then we will go for the implementation. Cool, so let's start. So I will take the input array first. Let's suppose these are the values we have. Now we will create the output array from the map function that we are going to apply on the input array, right? And this map function expect one callback function and as an argument, and this callback function expect value and the index as an argument, right? So we can write any custom logic inside this callback function, and whatever the value will be returned from this callback function, that will be stored in our output array. So let's suppose we are writing something like input multiplied by index plus 1. So we can write, so it is not necessary to use both the values. Your custom logic can be anything, but here we are using both the values. Cool, now we will console this output array. So let's console it. So here we are getting 1, 6 and 15. So if you see, the input array is 2, 5 and 7 and the output is 1, 6 and 15. So let's calculate. Initially we are getting value 2 multiplied by index 0, that is 0 plus 1. So the resultant is 1. So initial value is 1. And then we have 5 multiplied by 1, 5 plus 1, 6. So 6 is the next value. Then we have 7 multiplied by 2, 14 plus 1, 15. So 15 is the next value. Like that we use the map function in JavaScript, right? So now let's try to implement the map function from the scratch. To implement the new map function, we need to write the definition of new map function inside the prototype of the array constructor. So this is our array constructor, and this array constructor has the prototype, and our new map function will be the property of this prototype, and here we are going to assign one function that will be executed when we call the new map function. So this function, again, we will replicate the same logic that we have in our inbuilt map function. So this function will expect the callback function as an argument, right? So we will take the callback here. And we also know, like, this map function is going to return the new output array with the same length that we have for the input array, right? So let's suppose we are returning the new result, and this new result is the array with the same length that we have for the input array, right? So how we can define that? So like that we can do. Now we can see what is this. This refer to the input array. Whenever we will call this new map function with any array, right? So that input array will be can be accessed inside this function using this reference. Cool. So now whatever the input array we have, we will take the length of this array, and we will initialize our result as an empty array with the length of from the input array. Now we will iterate our input array like this map function also iterate and call the callback on each and every value and put inside the resultant array, right? So the same logic we will replicate here also. So here we are going to iterate our input array, and this dot length we are calling twice, so we can store it in some variable. And this length we can use here also and here also, right? Now see, we have to iterate our input array, right? And we are calling callback on each of the iteration. So we will write that logic. We are calling callback with the parameters it is expecting is the current value of the array, and remember this refers to the input array, and with the index we can we can access the current value when we are inside the loop, and I is the index, right? And whatever the callback is returning, we are storing that result in our result array. Cool. So we will iterate the whole input array. We will call the callback with the current value that we have inside the loop and the index, and the return value will be assigned to the result array, and in the end we will return the result array, right? So let's see, now we will call this map2 function on the input array itself. Now let's create another output array 2, let's suppose, and this is the input array, and we are going to call this map2 on the input array, and here we are going to pass one callback function with the same, I think the same logic we can see here also, so it is easy for us to compare also the inbuilt function and the new implementation. And in the end we will console the output array. Cool, let's try now, try again. Cool, so here we are getting the same result, right? Whatever from the inbuilt map function, and with the new implementation we are getting the same results for the both. And now if you are wondering what is this array, so this array is actually a function only. If we console this array, so this is the constructor function in JavaScript to create the arrays. Like here you are saying we are creating the array like this, right? So we can create the array using this constructor also. And in JavaScript every function is a constructor function, and every function has the prototype as a property by default in JavaScript. So if you see, our result will work same it is. Now if we try to run our code, we will get the same results like we were getting before. If we console this input array, so this will be like the normal array we implement in our JavaScript, right? So yeah, this is the implementation of map function. Hope you learned something new today. That's it for now. Bye.